Pro drivers versus pro drivers. It truly is the best going up against the best in IMSA's GTD Pro class. And despite it being one of the newer additions to the grid, it's already produced many intense battles and some truly iconic moments. Grand Touring Daytona Pro, or GTD Pro for short, is one of the two classes in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship that utilize GT3 spec cars. GTD Pro is one of the newest classes to the IMSA grid, with it being an evolution of the previous GTLM category that raced in IMSA up until the end of the 2021 season. The focus of the class is simple. It's a place for the best GT drivers in the world to compete, and for factory programs to showcase their best drivers. It's actually very similar to its predecessor, the GTLM class, which was a mainstay in IMSA for many years. However, there's a couple of key differences. GTLM used the now retired GTE class cars, which were a fan favorite with representation from many manufacturers over the years. Unfortunately, manufacturer participation for the cars began to dwindle in the late 2010s, and IMSA replaced the GTLM class with the current GTD Pro class for the start of the 2022 season. Now in 2025, we enter our fourth season with the GTD Pro class, and I would say that it's been a huge success. The big change from GTLM to the GTD Pro class are the cars that run in it, with the GTD Pro class now featuring the same GT3 spec cars that compete in IMSA's GTD class. The switch to the GT3 spec machinery has been a huge success, as we now look at double-digit full season entries in this class for the upcoming season. Now, these GT3 cars bear heavy resemblance to their road-going counterparts, but are full-on race cars that are optimized for performance on track. That's why when you see them on track, they look very similar to their road-going counterparts. You see a Mustang on track, it looks like a Mustang. You see a Lamborghini on track, it looks like the Lamborghini that you see on the streets. Now, all of the cars that compete are homologated by the FIA. That means that the manufacturers, and not the teams, submit their car to the sanctioning body for approval and to make sure that it meets all of the technical regulations. Since all manufacturers need to complete this process, it means that all of the cars are relatively equal in terms of performance on track. However, they are still not perfectly equal. Let's not forget that these cars still heavily resemble their road-going counterparts, and as a result, they can have vastly different handling and different ways that they make their speed. As a result, there's a BOP, or balance of performance, that is used to further level the playing field between all the cars. This BOP, which can change from track to track, helps make sure that the potential performance of all of the cars remains in the same general range. This is done by adjusting limits on the car parameters such as horsepower, weight, engine management, and aerodynamic elements. And something new to both of the GT classes in IMSA this year will be the use of torque sensors. These torque sensors attach to the rear axle of the car and feed the governing body constant performance information. IMSA will be able to monitor things such as horsepower, torque, and acceleration data constantly, and they're easily going to be able to monitor these against what the BOP allows for to make sure nobody's stretching the rules, and also to help create a better BOP for upcoming races. At the end of the day, this BOP and homologation process for the cars helps to ensure that one car on the grid doesn't have a massive advantage, and overall helps keep the playing field level. With this BOP, manufacturers and teams are not constantly looking for creative innovations to help extract a little bit more performance out of the car, and ultimately helps keep costs in check. This is the complete opposite to a series like F1, where the teams are constantly investing money and resources trying to extract a thousandth of a second out of the cars. Now, before I tell you more about these cars, give me 20 seconds to tell you about the Off in the S's Patreon. Thanks in large part to the support of the Patreon and YouTube members that you'll see listed at the end of this video, I was able to get out to more races in 2024 and bring you guys more content at the track. 2025 is looking to be even bigger, and your support goes a long way to help bring even more IMSA coverage. So if you want to support the channel, you can head to patreon.com/offinthes's, click that first link in the description. Now, for the average fan, these GTD Pro cars are the most recognizable out on track, and that's in large part due to their heavy resemblance to their road-going counterparts. And while they might technically be the slowest cars on the IMSA grid, due to the all-pro driver lineups that are often piloting these cars, it usually means that all of the GTD Pro cars are ahead of the GTD cars in the running order. Like the GTD cars, they also feature traction control and ABS. But GTD Pro features an unrestricted driver lineup, meaning that you frequently see a driver roster full of platinum and gold rated drivers. These are the best of the best. Now you can easily identify a GTD Pro car on track by the red illuminated number box on the side of the car. And during the races that go into the nighttime, GTD Pros, as well as many of the other classes on the IMSA grid, will have lights elsewhere on the car to help make it easier for drivers, spotters, and faster class cars to spot them on track. For the season opening Rolex 24, we will see 9 different manufacturers consisting of 15 entries in the race. These include 1 Aston Martin Vantage GT3 Evo, 2 BMW M4 GT3 Evos, which are new to the grid for 2025, 1 Ferrari 296 GT3, 1 Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2, 1 Lexus RCF GT3, 2 Mercedes AMG GT3 Evos, 2 Type 992 Porsche 911 GT3Rs, 3 Chevy Corvette Z06 GT3Rs, and 2 Ford Mustang GT3s. One of the great things about these GTD Pro and GT3 cars in general is that they can be run in various other series and races around the world. This has helped them explode in popularity. Now, many of the drivers that compete in this GTD Pro class are factory drivers, and you'll also see them competing in many of the other biggest GT3 races around the world. Races such as the Nürburgring 24, the Spa 24, the Bathurst 12-hour, not to mention other GT3 championships such as the GT World Challenge or the WEC's LMGT3 class. So yes, that means these cars are eligible for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Fantastic cars, factory drivers, and overall great racing make the GTD Pro class one that you'll definitely want to keep an eye on. But don't sleep on that GTD class, which features the same cars, but with a Pro-Am driver lineup. You can learn all about that class right here. Huge shout out to all of the channel supporters. If you too want to support the show, you can head to patreon.com/offinthe or click that join button below. Once again though, thanks for tuning in. I hope everyone has a great race weekend and doesn't go off in the S's.